Welcome to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about 7 unusual side hustles that no one is talking about in 2024. Now, these are not your typical side hustles, the ones that you always hear about. These are not typical, not by any stretch. They are unusual, they are unique, and in the right hands, I'm convinced that each one can generate a very good side income. Now, I do want to say up front that a few of them may require that you take a class or two or have some experience in the field. But if learning doesn't scare you off, and if you're searching for a good opportunity, well, then you're going to want to take a look at all 7 of these unusual side hustles. Welcome back to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. Well, as I promised before that break, I'm going to be telling you about 7 unusual side hustles that no one's talking about in 2024. Now, these aren't your typical side hustles. They are unusual. They are unique. But I'm convinced that in the right hands, each one can offer you the opportunity to make some real money. Now, if you'd like to learn about other side hustles, well, then I'm going to suggest that you subscribe to Side Hustle Rules. That's my other YouTube channel. On that channel, what I do is I dive a lot deeper into side hustles. Not only do I tell you about these opportunities, but I also tell you how you can take that side hustle and turn it into a full-time money-making business. If that sounds interesting to you, well, then subscribe to Side Hustle Rules on YouTube. So now let's get into our video. Let's talk about 7 unusual side hustles that people aren't talking about in 2024. Voiceover acting for podcast intros and outros. And this is actually a side hustle that I wish I talked about a lot sooner. I've got a good friend of mine actually does this for a living. She has a studio. She built it into a studio in her closet, and that's where she does voiceovers for podcasts. She does the intros and outros, and I also believe she does commercials. Now, voiceover work is a creative field that offers some good opportunities for people who want to showcase their vocal talents and also want to earn a paycheck while doing it. Now, you could do audiobooks to video games, commercials to animated series. There's really a wide spectrum of voiceover work, and there are several companies out there that offer opportunities for beginners to get started. Some of those sites that you can go on and check out are called voices.com or Voice Bunny. You can even check out Fiverr. Now, if you'd like to learn more about this particular side hustle, check out the article that I put in the description box of this video. The article is titled No Experience Voiceover Jobs, 30 Companies to Find Paid Work. Now, I also want to mention that according to ZipRecruiter, they're saying that hourly wages for this gig are as high as $76.92, but as low as $5.29. They say the majority of entry-level actor wages, they currently range in the area between $39.18 to $60.10, and that's across the U.S. I'm going to put a link to that ZipRecruiter article in the description box. You can check that out as well. Virtual interior design consulting. Now, this is a side hustle that allows you to provide interior design services remotely. You can offer clients design concepts, mood boards, and make recommendations without having to sit down with an in-person consultation. This is a great way to earn extra income while you're working as an interior designer. Maybe you've taken a couple of classes, you want to help some folks. You're upfront, of course, with your experience, but you can do this virtually. You can also consider some other side hustles that go along with this, such as maybe a home staging gig or a design blogging or vlogging. You can also do some home organizational services. Now, a question some of you may have is, so how do I get customers? Well, first, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a portfolio that's going to showcase your design skills. Then you'll offer your services on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork, and you'll charge clients for virtual consultations and design recommendations. Now, if you'd like to learn more about this side hustle, in the description box of this video, I've also included a link to an article that's titled Online Interior Design Jobs, Everything That You Need to Know. But I also want to mention this. According to ZipRecruiter, Virtual interior design jobs can pay from $20,000 to $100,000 per year. Now, imagine you've got to have some experience with that if you're reaching that upper range. But this depends. It really does depend. How much you make depends on how many projects you complete, your experience level, and of course, your design company's payment terms. Virtual friendship services. Now, this is without a question one of those unusual, I'll say unique kind of side hustles. I know if I was accepting a side hustle like this, I would definitely watch and make sure that I'm talking to somebody who really wants that virtual friendship. Now, if you accept a gig like this, you're going to be offering companionship and conversation to folks who are looking for a virtual connection. Now, virtual friends must be available, and I don't know if you need to be available 24/7, but you want to be available when your client wants you to be available. You're going to also be willing to talk to them, to listen to them, and also to express a real interest. And this job, it may even involve offering advice or emotional support, but ultimately your task is to be a real friend, not just someone who's just hopping on the phone, or rather hopping on a virtual connection and just sitting there listening. So how do you find work as a virtual friend? Well, there are some popular websites that offer this service, and that includes RentAFriend, RentaCyberFriend, FriendPC, OutSchool, Preply, Fiverr, Friendship, RentALocalFriend.com, and Get Paid to Chat. There's quite a few websites, as you can see. I'm going to put links to some of these, or maybe even all of those, in the description box. You can check it out. Now, from what I've seen, you can earn up to $50 per hour by offering a companionship service. Feng Shui consultant. Now, Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese practice that involves arranging objects in a space to create a harmonious environment. As a Feng Shui consultant, your job's to help people create a positive energy flow in their homes, or maybe even in their offices. How would you get started as a Feng Shui consultant? Well, one way to get started is by visiting a website. The website's called the Feng Shui Institute of the Midwest. They're a nonprofit learning and resource organization that I found online. I've got a link. I'm going to put it in the description box of this video so you can check it out. Now, I imagine your question would be, well, how much money could I make as a Feng Shui consultant? Well, consultants usually charge per consultation. You could charge an hourly rate, or you could charge a rate based on square footage. Now, according to PayScale, the average hourly rate for a Feng Shui consultant in the U.S. is around $70 per hour. Now, the amount that a Feng Shui consultant is going to make is going to vary. It's going to depend on their level of experience, their reputation, and maybe even some other factors like the location and maybe the demand for the services. Now, according to the Feng Shui Institute, the optimal compensation range for a consultant in the Midwest is between $85,000 and $646 and $108,000. They say the average salary, the average income is around $97,000. Digital detox coach. Now, I imagine there are plenty of parents out there who would consider hiring a digital detox coach when it comes to helping take their kids or get their kids off of their digital devices, their phones, maybe even their iPads. Well, a digital detox coach, what their job is, it's a professional who helps people reduce their dependence on technology and also on social media, which is going to improve their overall well-being. Now, a digital detox coach is going to provide guidance and support to people who are struggling with a digital addiction. And there's certainly some folks out there I know who probably, I would say, have a digital addiction, or maybe they're suffering from burnout, or maybe they have some other negative effects of technology overuse. So how would you make money as a digital detox coach? Well, there are a few ways, and that includes developing a coaching program, offering workshops, webinars, or maybe even some one-on-one sessions to people who are looking to reduce their digital dependence. Now, if you're interested in this side hustle, if you want to find out more, well, check out a website that I found online. It's called the Digital Detox Coach, and I'm going to put a link to this website in the description box of this video. Mystery shopping, or I think some folks might call this a secret shopper, but regardless, mystery shopping is a side hustle where you get paid to provide feedback on products, on services, and also on your experiences as a shopper. Your mystery shopping job, it could take you to stores, could take you to restaurants, or maybe even a hotel. You're going to create a report. You create a report on items that you find maybe on the product, display, cleanliness, staff behavior. That's also one that's important. Also creating a report that includes pricing information, the taste of food, and also customer service. Now, with its flexibility, its variety, and the potential perks that you could earn, mystery shopping has really become this ultimate side hustle for a lot of folks out there. Now, if you're interested in learning about this side hustle, I'm going to ask you to check out some sites. I'm going to put links in the description box, but the sites are Mystery Shopping Professionals Association, iSecretShop, Field Agent, and Market Force. And there's a few others, but these are the 4 main ones that I found. Now, as I said, there's a link. I'll put a link in the description box so you can check these out for yourself. Last on my list of 7 unusual side hustles people aren't talking about in 2024 is plant stylist. Now, a plant stylist is a person who specializes in arranging and styling plants in a visually appealing manner. And what you're doing is you're just helping someone choose the right plants for their space. You're designing a layout, and then you can also provide, or probably should provide, maintenance tips. Now, how do you make money as a plant stylist? Well, of course, you're going to be charging a fee for your expertise and your recommendations, but there are some other ways to monetize your plant styling skills, such as offering freelance garden planting services, selling propagated plants, flipping plants. That's a really nice one. Or even creating an urban farm bouquet for someone. Now, you can also offer workshops or tutorials online, which I think is a great way to monetize your skills. And you can do that on platforms like Skillshare or Zoom. Now, I'm going to be adding, or I've added a link to a website that dives deeper into this side hustle, and I'll put that link in the description box. It's to an organization called the Pawtexant Nursery, and it's pawtexantnursery.com. There's a link in the description box. Well, there you go. I've just told you about 7 unusual side hustles that people aren't talking about in 2024. And I've got to say, I had a lot of fun putting this list together, doing the research, looking at some of these websites. I think you will agree that these are unusual. These are unique opportunities for you to make money. It's up to you to look at each one, decide if it's for you. If you find that you do not want to do any one of these side hustles, then you're going to want to check out my other channel, Side Hustle Rules. On that channel, as I said earlier previously, I do go a lot deeper into side hustles. I can tell you about some more options that are out there. Can also help you, show you how to go ahead and take that side hustle and build it into a money-making business. If you've got any questions, send me a comment, send me an email, and also don't forget to subscribe to Side Hustle Rules on YouTube. Well, that's all I got for you. As I always say, have a great day, everybody.